Do you know what you own? Truly, do you own yourself? Well, what is your property? Your own life, which is your future, your own freedom, which is your present, and the products of your life and freedom, which we may call the past. This is also said as the fruits of your labor. So what is not your property? Another's own life, another's own freedom, another's own property, unless voluntarily traded. In other words, you do not own the life or property of somebody else, and you are not the source of freedom for others. Otherwise, that is slavery. And if you don't think that's the case, then watch the previous video of this series where we discuss what is slavery. So what is ownership? Having responsibility, control of usage, or rightful possession of property that belongs to you. Self-ownership is the specification that you own you and that I own me. In other words, nobody has a higher claim over your own life other than you. No other person or group of persons owns your life, and nor do you own the lives of others. Therefore, to practice self-ownership would mean to not give away ownership over to others for that of which only you can truly have ownership over. Similarly, to not give away responsibilities to others for that of which only you can truly be responsible for. In the case of slavery as against freedom, you may argue that you are responsible for your own freedom, and that you should not give that away to others, because in that attempt, you are essentially enslaving yourself. Frederick Douglass tells us, "Where justice is denied, where poverty is enforced, where ignorance prevails, and where any one class is made to feel that society is an organized conspiracy to oppress, rob, and degrade them, neither persons nor property will be safe." And this is a former slave and abolitionist speaking. He says the first work of slavery is to mar and deface those characteristics of its victims which distinguish men from things and persons from property. Its first aim is to destroy all sense of high moral and religious responsibility. It reduces man to a mere machine. It cuts him off from his maker, it hides him from the laws of God, and leaves him to grope his way from time to eternity in the dark, under the arbitrary and despotic control of a frail, depraved, and sinful fellow man. It is then the first business of the enslaver of men to blunt, deaden, and destroy the central principle of human responsibility. Conscience is to the individual soul and to society what the law of gravitation is to the universe. It holds society together. It is the basis of all trust and confidence. It is the pillar of all moral rectitude. Without it, suspicion would take the place of trust. Vice would be more than a match for virtue. Men would prey upon each other like the wild beasts of the desert, and earth would become a hell. So ask yourself, what is it that you own, and are you truly responsible over that of which you own? Are you utilizing your own conscience? Are you seeing any value in morality or recognizing what is property, so you know that you are not controlled or are controlling somebody else in their life when they do not belong to you? If you recognize that slavery is wrong, then this should be the aim. But in case you don't think slavery is wrong, watch our next video on what slavery has to do with morality. Thank you for watching this part of the docu-series Slavery Gone for Good. Be sure to watch our other parts for a more deep understanding as to the nature of truth and action in its fullest extent. If you want to learn more and hear more quotes that have not been discussed in this video, be sure to buy the book Slavery Gone for Good Black Book Edition. This is the most important work in history, and you are part of that work. Do not forget it. As Frederick Douglass, former slave and abolitionist, said, "Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave."